Austin Garrison in the black, white, and red. Carlos Sainz, Speed Concepts Racing Machine. Paulie Masamino in the blue and white. For Brandon Jarstrak Racing, let's go in KA Senior. Oh, and around Colin Lloyd in front of the field. From the inside, the 961 gets pounded by one kart going by, and that has just broken this pack completely up. A 5-driver breakaway as they rocket through turn 4. Garrison leads to McQueen, Masamino in third. They were side by side there for fourth. Gafera winning out over DeMello, and then it's Mossman from way back up to 6th, now ahead of James Overbeck and Jared Clark there. Great start for the young man there in 7th. Cash Perkins, the rookie, to the inside of Sam Mavrutsky. And then the rest of the field, 2 by 2 through turn 8, then back to single file if they can by turn 9. Your leaders headed up the hill. 1 lap coming to the close, and it's Masamino on the charge already. Gets by McQueen there in turn 11 for P2.
We'll take a look back at the start here. A couple of drivers out of line, and you see Paulie just not a good start at all. Caleb G, Caden McQueen able to go through, and Colin Lloyd just gets spun around. I think he really just got touched on the wrong side of that rear bumper, spun him around, and Edgar Rodriguez just right into the side of him there.
Mossman leading the next group. Here's Massimino's teammates trying to make some hay. James Overbeck and Jared Clark couldn't quite complete the move away from the lead here to the early going of this main, but he's going in the right direction. Started 17th, he's now up to 11th, and as they fight again up front, that'll just make things a little easier. Clark finally by on Mossman.
Yeah, speaking of Austin a little bit yesterday, he just wanted to push Paulie, and I don't think he can wait for too long behind Paulie because now Zach wants to split him up, wanting to go up to 2nd.
He can almost taste that big opportunity as there was a nice sign of sportsmanship there. Frankie Moss and Blake Nash changing spots easily into 8. And now here's a change for 2nd. DeMello gets the pass finally done there. Once again, Caden McQueen just losing a little bit to the top 3. And now Caleb Gafera seeing that goes by in 4. We got a big contact. This is huge. Turn 4. Multiple drivers into the wall. One already off to the inside. One of the Arcane Tony Karts. Rubio Luengo and the BJR following the group up towards the lead. Look at this. Oh, man.
Santi Fernandez in that one as well. And it really looked like Rubio Luengo was just a passenger in that one. The same for Hamza Ambar. So there was contact in between 2 other drivers.
For Caleb Gafera, he's got to push and try to find it, and you always run the risk of going over the limit, and maybe that was the case there as we see Caden McQueen go backwards, and we have an update as well down on pit lane.
I think he might. He's looking inside of turn number 4, and again, call this shot on the front stretch. Zachary Clayman DeMello going to lead this field, and I tell you what, Paulie looked very strong as well throughout that last half of the lap prior, so I think ZCD might have felt that, again, it was time for him to take control over this race, and he did just that there, right?
Trying to keep tabs on both battles as they continue to build up, and we wait for it all. DeTulio further back, here it is for 4th. Clark is by. Jared Clark continues this impressive march from 19th on the lineup. Jared Clark now finds himself P4 with a big gap to the lead, but it's not insurmountable if they fight. And with 3 of them, and with Mr. Excitement himself, Zachary Clayman DeMello in the mix, you never know.
Yeah, we'll see how it all plays out as now Jared Clark going for a move, and Paulie Massimino back to the lead in turn number 8.
Break twice as early as DeMello, or twice as early as Paulie, as there's contact. Blake Nash hops the tire with Gafera, and things have opened up here in the middle group. Caden McQueen by. Overbeck setting him up. Nothing there. And Jared Clark gets a nice bit of breathing room now in 4th, all by his lonesome.
He sits 4th, only 3 seconds back. This is gonna help Jared Clark out a huge chunk. As now Paulie to the bottom to defend from Zachary Clayman DeMello. You saw Austin open up as well there, looking to set up an over-under, and this is where it gets close. It all comes down to this. The last lap and a half here at Trackhouse Motorplex, anybody's game.
Nice and low for Paulie and DeMello. Garrison tried to set up for maybe a crossover. It wasn't there. Into 9. Paulie will cover it tight. That'll bottleneck them all. Here comes Jared Clark. 2.7 seconds back last time by. What will the gap be to the top 3 when they get to the line? White flag in the air. Paulie covered nice in 11. He'll be vulnerable down the front stretch. DeMello follows him low. Garrison moves up. 1 to go.
Garrison moved up to the high side. Look at Zachary Clayman DeMello alongside into the dirt. Garrison looking to set up an over-under again. Paulie Massimino, this is one of the biggest gaps we've seen out of him. Jared Clark side by side with Blake Nash for 4th.
Big time save for ZCD. Now Garrison, all he can do is hope that DeMello can get back to Paulie, but he clipped the curb in 6 to let the dirt on the right rear tire into the hairpin. Final time, covering low, and the gap will open. Final time out of 8, and the pack is there, stacked up behind DeMello. Paulie Masamino had to get the elbows out on this final lap, but he should cruise to this one. And out of 11, he'll double up and win the KA Senior Grand National Championship.
Caleb Gaffera way off the racetrack there in turn number 11. He's out of it, almost into the pits early. But Paulie Masamino, your winner over Zachary Clayman DeMello and Austin Garrison. Jared Clark, Blake Nash round up your podium.